Desiree McKinney, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the awesomeness of the Disney show I actually did. It is a remake of Sky's video. This is part 2 because part 1 got cut off because my phone died. And honestly, I don't know how much longer we got for this one to work, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I can because there were a couple of questions still that I did not answer. So we're gonna get back to it. I honestly should have probably checked the video to see what the last question was, but we'll just go from, oh, I put a little star there. Look at me being organized a little. Praise God. Okay, so yeah, I have some wonderful vegan food from the spot called the Sauce Pit out here in Houston, Texas. It's fire. And I cannot wait to show you guys what it is. And again, I was making some waist beads, so that's why things look the way they do. But let's see what we got here before we get started. Ooh. So this with the corn stock coming out is elote. And it's their vegan version of elote. So you can see what it looks like here. It's a little piece that just came off there. Oh, it looks so good though. Doesn't that look delicious? Bruh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And this is vegan sausage. Throw that in the trash in a second. This is the vegan sausage and Brussels sprouts. So we're gonna do a quick thumbnail. Okay, one of those should work. So I'm gonna kill this food right now. But yeah, so let's see here. What is the next question? I already said why I moved back from Los Angeles, but I'll just get back into that a little bit. So my grandma got super sick and I was about to sign with Aftermath and Dr. Dre. He said that he liked my music and he was excited to like meet me and stuff. So I actually moved all the way to Los Angeles in hopes of signing this deal with Dre. Dre's been in the hospital. I haven't heard much about that. I probably should check in on that and see, at least see what's going on or how he's doing, because that's crazy. And actually the manager that I had at the time is in the hospital too. With back problems, and then I think some other medical issues happened. I'm still in touch with his wife, but basically, you guys, I would have been famous and broke, so I decided to pass up on that deal. But not only that, I was still considering the deal, even though I moved back home. Even though I moved back home to Houston for a short time, I was planning on being here a short time, but my grandmother was like, she had cancer at the time. She's gone now. Rest in peace, Grandma Jean. Excuse me, guys. But she was actually the only artist that we had that I knew of, that I was close to in the family. And she drew a lot of beautiful, amazing work. I'll show you one of my favorites from her. It's on my wall back here. Isn't that amazing? And this is literally like a doodle from my grandmother. She was just drawing bored one day before her arthritis kicked in. And she told me I could have it. And if you see at the bottom here in the corner, it says Granny. She signed it Granny for me. I will never give this away. I love this drawing. It's so comforting. And it's just so cool. I'm going to wash my hands really fast and get back to the questions. But yeah, she was dying. And the place that she was at, she went to like a hospice spot. And they were saying that she only had like a short amount of time to live. So it was really crazy. That just didn't feel like long enough to me. I need to watch them longer. Okay, much better. Now they feel clean. All right, but yeah, so yeah, but my grandmother, she was a wonderful person. She was a really strong woman because there have been multiple instances where they said that she wasn't going to live, or she wasn't going to have that long to live, and she always fought through it. And I just didn't want to regret being back with her and spending time with her. So I don't regret it at all. And I realized I could do what I love from anywhere. I could do it from Houston, Los Angeles, New York, Africa, wherever I want to go, I can always do what I love. So it forced me to be more independent and trust in God a lot more, even though just moving there was out on faith. But that's another video. Shout out to Choice TV, because he's the one who kind of inspired me to keep doing these. Oh my God. That tastes like meat. Oh my God. Oh my God. I haven't had this in a while. I usually get their chicken wings. The bone part you can actually eat too. It's sugarcane. It's really good. But so how did my mom like me being on the channel? My mom was super supportive, always was. She sacrificed a lot for me to be where I am. If you don't know, you gotta spend money to make money. A lot of people ask me how to be an actor, how to be a model or a musician or whatever. All of that was investing. You have to pay for pictures, you have to pay to record, you have to pay for auditions or classes. You don't always have to pay for auditions, I take that back, but you do have to pay for classes to learn how to act, especially if it's not something that's natural to you, but you won't know that until you take the class. So you may be super good at it, but then once you get in front of the camera, you don't know the terminology, like stand on your mark, which is like the little tape thing that they have on the floor, or or say your slate, which is another term if you're not familiar with. You may not know what to do when that happens, or read your sides. You have to know all of these things, because anything else makes you look unprofessional. There was also something I learned when I was really tiny too, from a really big acting coach, that he used to do casting in Hollywood. And when he worked with a specific casting director, if the actors did not use yellow highlighters to highlight their lines, he would literally cut them out completely. You're not getting a job just because of the highlighter color. So literally, even some people are peeved by like not using yellow highlighters, which is so stupid to me, but whatever. Yeah, so a lot of those things you have to learn kind of in acting class, or else you look like you don't know what you're doing. And so she invested her time, her money, her attention in just cultivating me, making sure my self-esteem was good, because you get a ton of no's. You're going to get way more no's than yeses doing anything in life. And you just have to be able to take that rejection without internalizing it and making you crazy. So she was super supportive, always has been. She used to like sit in the car with my little sister. My little sister's been supportive too, without even knowing all the way. When she was super tiny, she would be in the car, like when she first was born, and we would put her favorite cartoon on in the back, give her favorite snacks, and she would like literally sit in the back, regardless if I was filming something, auditioning, taking photos or whatever. And my mom tried to make sure I looked professional, so she would be with me on set for a short time, and then she would get off. And the older I got, she stayed on set a lot less. Just so I could get more familiar with being there alone for when I got older. And the next question is, if I didn't act, what would I do? Honestly, a lot of people don't know this, and this is for another video too, but I've actually had over 55 day jobs, counting probably maybe 56 or 57 now, just because I did Taekwondo classes. I went to learn self-defense in case something bad ever happened to me. I would just know how to handle myself if I didn't have any weaponry around me. And then after that, what did I do after I taught Taekwondo? I worked at a dog like shelter thing, like a dog what are those things called? A dog, why can't I think of it? Doggy hotel. It was like a high-end dog hotel. So you could drop your dog off if you were going on vacation. All this was before COVID, but you could drop your dog off. I was like a manager there. But they told me I was petting the dogs too much and like spending too much time playing with the dog. And I wasn't like doing all the typing and stuff, but y'all, it seemed like every job told me I needed to focus on modeling, acting, and music, like always. And I made a point, like, once I turned about 18 in the job world, I stopped telling them I was a musician or a model or an actress. And so these people would literally find out on their own, I guess, or like Google me or try to find me on social media or whatever, and they would just find out. And then, like, when I had auditions or whatever, you know, you post it, so it is what it is. Like, I don't regret any of it. I'm glad I got to pretty much experience and explore every job there is. Oh, I also do and did legal IT, staffing and consulting. Sometimes I get back into it, and then sometimes I take a break. I'm really grateful that my family, that's like kind of the family business, so I do it here and there when I want, but I don't really have to do that like that. Which means I get to enjoy doing what I love. But I honestly haven't done it seriously in about 2 years almost. Let's see here. But yeah, acting, I wouldn't do anything else. Now that I've done pretty much every job I've wanted or could do. I also do marketing and social media marketing for small businesses, small Black businesses. And so I do that here and there, but I honestly am so wrapped up in my music right now. I have not been able to take on any new clients at all. This area says, why do Disney stars turn BAD? I think that's like a really weird question, only because I know some that aren't. I don't know them, but from what I've seen, they seem like they still have it together for the most part. I know Journey Smollett was on Disney, I think, for a short time. She still has a wonderful career. She handles herself properly. I worked with her before on Friday Night Lights. She was extremely professional. She seemed very sane and very calm, very cool, very collected. And then I worked with Demi. Demi went through a little bit here and there, but to me, she seems like she still has it together. And I think it's really beautiful when people who we look up to or who are doing better seem to show that human side of themselves, like I'm doing right now. I mean, I've never really answered these questions, and if I did, it was like between me and another person. I've never like filmed the answers to the questions. But also, Raven seems like she has it together. And she has so much, like, because she didn't spend any of her Disney money at all. And then you have the other chick that was a part of Cheetah Girls, Adrienne. She seems like she has it together too. She's on The View. She's doing well. There's a lot that are doing well. And even for the ones that aren't or are going through something, I think that that's just a part of being human, you know. And if you don't take the proper precautions and self-love and going to therapy, you're gonna have issues. Like, that's just normal. That's normal, especially once you're transitioning to like from teens to 20 and then transitioning from your 20s to your 30s. You're gonna have, you know, flashbacks or certain things that you go through, and you just have to learn how to like cope or, you know, get those spirits off of you so that you can live a regular, normal, happy, healthy life. And what is normal, really? I mean, we all go through stuff, right? Now, there are some Disney stars where you're like, you might be a little off, but I just think that's the person. And I think Sky Jackson answered that beautifully, because it just depends on the person, how much work you're willing to do to heal yourself, how much work you're willing to do to make sure that you're a better person, and who were you at that time too makes a difference as well. And you know, you don't want to fall into just doing what everybody else is doing. You want to be yourself and make sure that that self is a good person, right? The next question I made up this question, but who is the best celeb outside of Disney? I honestly have to say Journey Smollett. Only because I met her when I was like 18. And she was getting engaged when I met her to the guy that she's still married to now. She was super sweet. She gave me like a magical kind of view on her and her family. We met her family on set. She was always really sweet. She spent time with us. We ate with her. We laughed with her. But that's another video. But I'll just say Journey Smollett. If there was a reboot, would I do it? My mouth is full. I'm sure you could tell from my face. Absolutely not. No. I don't think I would do pretty much anything Disney related, really. Unless it was something that was maybe done by Disney, like a film or something that was going to be in theaters or something like that. As far as being on actual Disney Channel for like kids and stuff with the like slapstick comedy and all, that's not really my swag. Never really has been. I just was trying to live out and fulfill a childhood dream. And it was kind of not all it was cracked up to be, only because with acting, if you're African American, you have to go through a lot of different hoops, and you just never know what's going to happen with it or how they're going to treat you or what you're going to go through. But to have someone marginalize your character sometimes can be hurtful. And then I just don't want to I wouldn't want my agent to like submit me to anything, because you don't always know what it is. Like how they do scripts now sometimes, even with Friday Night Lights when I was doing it, you would get the script that day, like, and you have to learn your lines right then, which is fine. It's easy to do if you're used to it. That wasn't what I thought was anything, issue or anything like that, but it was having to, like, what if I have to, go trip and fall on the floor, like, bang something against my head, or it was just, I don't want to be like that, like, seen as dumb or a mean girl. And I didn't want to get typecasted. I didn't want to be like this sexual deviant either. So I know that wouldn't happen on Disney, the last one, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Is there beef with anyone on Disney? I'm gonna take another bite of my food on that one. I'll say no, there wasn't any beef with anyone on Disney, but just the guy that I talked about on the other video, the part 1 video, there was a young man who was extremely R-word, and he made it difficult to just stand by him. It was always you people, or the BLACKS, or I think he even used the M-word. It's just that little dude, he wasn't even like a main character or anything, but I was really young when I was doing that. So to imagine like a young little black girl who's still in high school, I was maybe like 15 when I started doing that show, to have someone talk to you like that, and you've never really, well, I did experience it. That's on a video I did post already, what I went through when I was like in 3rd grade. That was the first time I experienced R-word. But to have it happen and you're working and you're doing like something you're really excited to do, there's like food, free food. To me, you're getting paid to do it, get residual checks, all this good stuff. And then to have somebody try to tell you how they see you, and it's like how people saw people in the olden times, like, or with how boomers think, it was just really cringy. I don't even remember that little dude's name. I think it was like Jack or something like that. I don't remember his name, honestly. I think it was Jack, but I don't know. Look, my brain blocks out like really painful memories, or memories I just don't want to remember that are ill. So Yeah, that was the only person I still, if I saw him today, I would just roll my eyes. He's not even worth talking to or spending time and energy on if you're that low to the ground and that demonic, but no. Did I want a spinoff? Like at the time? At the time I did, because we were doing a short. It was, a short is like, it was between the TV shows. Like, we were coming on between That's So Raven and like, what was that other show? Like Brandy and Mr. Whiskers or something. Like, we were in between the stuff. Like, it wasn't even a real full show. It was cool, but in my head, and even how they presented it to us, they didn't make it seem like it was going to be a short. They made it seem like it was going to be a whole season. They probably didn't get approved for it, maybe, or something later on, but who knows? But yeah, if there was a spinoff at the time, I would have done it. Now, no. What was the schedule like filming? The schedule of filming was awesome. I say that because once they did find out I was on that show at my school, the guys were cool, but the girls made it really difficult to go to school. And I didn't even tell them I was on this show. I learned in middle school that I couldn't tell people I was like acting and modeling. So I never brought it up, but people just saw it after a while. And so they I learned how to defend myself. That's another video too, where I ended up in my first fight at that high school. I was in a small fight in middle school, and then that's my uncle took me and taught me boxing all summer long. So in case it happened again, I could defend myself. But you'll get that information later. But yeah, I missed a ton of school, and they put us up in like a hotel, or we could drive down and film. And my mom pretty much made sure I got to save almost all the money I made there. And when you're acting in big stuff, they give you a stipend too, which is like a little check before your huge check comes, where you can kind of eat, pay bills, or whatever you have to do in the meantime until your check comes. So with the stipend, even, she didn't even make me spend that. I did, but she didn't make me. What was the audition process? I don't know if I said this, but I literally went to like 3 auditions for this, and it was like that for most of Disney's stuff, or Nickelodeon's, because I did audition for Everybody Hates Chris, I think twice. I auditioned for Just Jordan once. I auditioned for this show called Savvy, where I ended up being a glorified extra there too. But they give you lines and stuff sometimes just to be an extra. I feel like that's so cringy. Why do you have to even do somebody like that? Just let people see if they can show up. Maybe ask them a couple of questions. See how their personality is. If you really want to make sure that extra is like acting too. But all of that, it just seemed so mean. It just seems so mean when you're a kid. It's just like, why do I have to do, you know, you get your hopes up and you're a child, and then it's like, when you get there, they're like, okay, go stand in the corner, and when we're ready for you, we'll call you. Okay, we just want you to stand right here, or like walk across the camera like cattle. It's weird. Then let's see, okay, so there was this other show I did. This is something I wrote myself too. I think it was probably gonna be like the Sky Jackson. I mean, not the Sky Jackson. There was this show that Keke Palmer did, where True Jackson, I think, is what it was called. But it was basically like she sang, and she like did clothing, and she had all these different talents, and like they showed her high school life too. And I think that was, I think that was pretty much the same thing, but I auditioned for that, and that was the first time I ever just like completely froze up. Like, I did not move. I could not move. I felt so just, I don't know, shy. and I was afraid. I just felt like I wasn't ready yet. And it may have stemmed from my fear of performing and singing in front of people, because I love my mama, but I was 4 years old and she had me sing in front of a crowd of about 200 people at Astroworld out here in Houston, for her coworkers and stuff. I would sing Whitney Houston with her around the house while she was cleaning, or like Sade or whatever. I didn't know I sounded good, or if I still to this day, I don't know what I sounded like because I was 4, but she volunteered me to do karaoke. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. And to this day, that song terrifies me. I'm not going to say I will never, but I would have to go through extensive vocal training to sing any of Whitney Houston's songs, because that lady had a voice on her, honey, and she did not play. And even she started out modeling and stuff, but just how dope she is and like how beautiful her voice was, I just can't. Like, I would need all the classes before I did Whitney Houston. I have more of like a Sade tone in my music. If you check it out, you can listen to it. It's on all platforms. My name is Desiree McKinney. But yeah, I have more of like a relaxed kind of voice. It's silky and raspy at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's alternative hip hop, so I rap and sing, but the message is the same, and all my music is basically the same message Bob Marley had back in the day. It's about love and unity and peace between us, you know. And the filming process was cool, but it would take all day. My feet would be killing me. And I actually did something really funny on the show, and they left it on there, which I don't know why they did that. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. I just always figured if I was like on Ellen or something later, which I would not now because there's no Ellen and she seemed cringy anyway. But at the time, my feet were hurting so bad, bro. I took my shoes off like while these two actors in the front of the camera were talking to each other. And they literally left it in there. It's like, I slide the backs off, step out of the shoes, and stand there barefoot and just pretend to keep talking to the person. And it's funny, when you're an extra, we don't do any, like, we're literally not saying anything because you can't make noise because the actors are doing their dialogue. And they still want to get a little bit of the background noise. So you're literally like, or like you can mouth watermelon over and over, like, so it looks like you're talking, and move your hands and like your eyes and stuff like you're having a full conversation. But I did all of that with my shoes off, and they left it there. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, my feet were hurting because I modeled then too, and just long periods of time you're standing up. It's crazy. Now, the next part is noisy parties, dancers, etc. Missing parties? Oh, okay. This is a fun fact. I missed a ton of school at that time too. I missed some homecoming dances. I missed a lot of school. I missed like tests and stuff. I had to take them out of class. And I actually went to school with Travis Scott. This awesome dude named Jason, who I went to church with too. He has a song with A$AP Rocky now. He goes by OG Chess, and the 2 S's are $signs. Y'all should check out their music and check out his music. It's really dope. And then yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I did it! Yay! I did taste everything except for the elote. I'm really learning how to eat slowly and like really enjoy eating my food. So I'm gonna eat this elote. That's spicy, but it's like not too spicy. And that tastes like real cheese. I don't know if that's coconut cheese or cashew cheese or what, but bro, that tastes good. OMG. Well, I'm gonna get back to eating and enjoying my food. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching so much. God bless you. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. If you have any questions about anything, or you just want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section. What would you do? What would you do in these situations? Let me know in the comment section. And do you guys want to see more acting from me or more music from me? You got to check my music out to tell me, but let me know in the comment section. I'm directing some things, so y'all will see some more awesomeness really soon. God bless you. Take care. Bye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.